Desperate times call for desperate measures, and Mio Mio is not kidding around.
Powerful Nerdcast assemble!
Stay dandy, baby. Greetings, Gundam people. The Ace Guru is here, and it's time to talk about the latest episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury, an episode which was absolutely drenched head to toe in drama, and it was also pretty freaking good. It also featured the return of my favorite character, Gwael Jeddark, who is easily one of the most depressing characters of the entire series, but proves yet again that he is the alpha of the entire series. Yes, I'm a little biased. Gwael is the perfect example of a character who totally wins me over, because I hated his guts initially. The guy was just the ultimate douche. His way of the ninja in terms of douchebaggery will go down in legend. And despite the fact that he looks like a weird combination of a Sailor Moon villain and a JoJo character, he still manages to be my absolute favorite. Yes, I now dub him the Gwaelga Chad. But enough tomfoolery, high school drama, and giant robots, am I right? This episode is all about the beginning of Miorine's plan in order to get Suletta away from the Ariel. It's not so much a plan as it is something that she was forced into thanks to Prosperashar. And Prospera continues to bring out her inner cunt by basically manipulating Miorine, just like everybody else in her life. Basically, she wants to be a Piter Quiet Zero, but in order for this to happen, Miorine has got to get Suletta away from that fucking Gundam. And if it means shattering her entire relationship with her, she's gonna do it. But before we get to those shenanigans, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Shadiq, as it looks like he's going to be joining Pale Technologies, and he's running for president, and basically his leverage is he's gonna try and get this group access to the Ariel Gundam. I don't know why he would want to work with these creepy-ass witches, but, you know, Shadiq looks like he's pretty much at the end of his rope here. He might be keeping his cool, but he's finally reached a point of desperation where he's like, well, I kidnapped my father, I might as well work with these assholes. And now for the glorious setup of this episode. We get to see Alon basically tries to force himself on Suletta, which, yes, is as creepy as it actually sounds. He desperately wants the Ariel for himself, and if that means getting a little physical with her, that's basically what he's gonna do. But luckily, this basically puts a big bat signal in the sky, and it comes in the form of Batman wearing pink hair. Yes! Gwael finally makes his grand return in this episode, actually throwing down a little bit with Alon before getting him to basically run away with his tail between his ass. And that's when Gwael demonstrates yet again that he's the best character of the entire series. Think of the shit that this guy has been through, and he still manages to spill his guts out, basically declaring his love for Suletta, a feat which is not very easy for him, and it is very awkward, but then again, I think it was framed that way. And even after getting rejected, he takes it like a champ. But Miorine was listening into all of this, and she basically sees this as the perfect opportunity to get Suletta away from the Ariel Gundam. And the way that she's going to do that is that she basically tells Suletta, hey, you want my love and friendship again? Battle Gwael, and let's see what happens. Now, of course, this is all a part of a much grander plan where she's going to work with Gwael, saying that, look, if you can defeat Suletta and get the Ariel away from her, I'll marry you, your company will be successful again, and you'll be able to bring honor back to the Jeddark house. And recently being rejected, I think Gwael was kind of okay with this plan, and he agrees to the duel, where if he wins, he's going to take control of the Ariel Gundam. Now, Suletta's pumping herself up for this battle because she thinks this is going to be the perfect opportunity to win Miorine back. Not to mention, she's going to see it as something of a birthday present for her, so she absolutely can't lose this battle. She loses the battle. That's the thing about this episode. It's bittersweet. I love the return of Gwael. I think he's a fantastic character, and I honestly think he's had maybe some of the best development of just about anyone from the series. And I really wanted to see what he could do with some true skill, but the fact of the matter is, he's seen some shit. They actually address the fact that he is still suffering quite heavily from PTSD. That can kind of happen when you end up killing your father with a giant robot. The brass tacks, however, is that Gwael still does have a really epic fight in this episode. I especially love his upgraded mobile suit, the red coloring, all the brand new weapons that it brings to the table, especially this grappling hook-like leg which he uses to attach to the Ariel, slamming right into her, bringing in a barrage of different beam saber weapons. It's just fucking cool. It's the only way to describe it. The thing is, though, he's still struggling with battling. Every single time he fights Suletta, he still gets these images and flashes of what happened with him and his father, and it completely distracts him to the point where he can't even pilot the damn suit. Luckily, Miorine came in with a clutch plan. This involves hacking the aerial Gundam, putting it out of commission, and allowing Gwail to take the win easily. But it just doesn't feel earned, and that's because it wasn't. This isn't a triumphant moment for Gwail, it's just another footstone in his amazing story, and I can't wait to see if he's gonna come out of it stronger, or if his head's just gonna get even more fucked. Oh, but wait! There's more salt on this wound. We do get the final scene of the episode where Miorine coldly walks up to the Ariel's cockpit, demands that Suletta returns her title as the holder, and basically lets her know, I have nothing else to do with you. We're pretty much done. Piss off. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. Just a long, wet fart. We have reached the Empire Strikes Back of the Witch from Mercury. This is the downer moment. This is when characters are going to be at their absolute worst. And I'm not sure that Miorine thought this out very thoroughly. I mean, she's basically just screwing herself even more. She's going to drive Suletta away, and in a way, this is just gonna bring her even closer to her mother, as she's the only one that she's going to be able to confide in. And you know her mother is going to take advantage of her in this state, which ultimately could make things even more dangerous for the future and what she has planned for her. This wedge between both Miorine and Suletta is some of the best drama that I've seen from any Gundam anime series, and it's totally carrying the story here. This series has a remarkable balance of being able to tell a story which is kind of crazy and sci-fi-ish and very out there. You have to suspend your sense of disbelief a little bit, but there's also a really big amount of just realism which is just spread all over it. And you get to see a lot of that in the arc of the characters themselves. Getting to see Suletta and Miorine patch things up by the end, if it does happen, I really hope it's going to have some weight behind it. It's going to have to feel really important, because right now, they are just at their absolute worst moments. And I really hope when that moment does come, it's going to have some really good payoff. But for now, things are just not looking good. This is definitely a downer season, but that does not detract from the fact that it's also entertaining as all hell. I am completely sucked into every single episode, whether it be the actual character development, like I said, the arcs, or just the drama itself. It's good, cheesy stuff. I love it. And when I say cheesy, I don't mean it's bad. It just really works for this. It's melodramatic, but in a good way. A lot of the times when I'm watching a Gundam anime series, whenever I think about it, the first thing that pops into my head are the mobile suits themselves. But this is the first time, like, whenever I think about it, I find myself more intrigued by the characters themselves. If anything, the mobile suits are secondary to that. And again, I just think that speaks to the quality of the writing of the series, and of course not being able to predict where it can go. And that's what I'd love to hear from you guys. Give me your thoughts about this episode, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, your hopes and dreams for the future, just any comment about this show. And if you're liking these videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more just like it. Make sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. Really like that stuff. The next episode is going to be on break, which actually makes me kind of happy, because the only thing I'm doing this coming weekend is playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. If you can tell, I'm kind of a fan, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I will return for the next episode of the series. I know this review was a little late, but, you know, I'm an adult. I got shit going on. I got things to do. But I definitely wanted to talk about this episode, which, again, I thought was great. Again, I thought this was a 5 out of 5. Not for the action, not for the animation, but for the characters. They're really what make The Witch from Mercury. So, there it is. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay down there, baby.